Welcome to TTV News with some latest events in Tay Ninh province. Ladies and gentlemen, Toàn Phát Cooperative based in Ho Chi Minh City has just presented the Journalists Association of Tay Ninh province with 250 medicine chests for the treatment of COVID-19 on December 11.
These are the gifts that the resident agency of the People's newspaper in Tay Ninh province and Tay Ninh Provincial Journalists Association have campaigned to send to the journalists who are participating in the propaganda at the front lines of the pandemic and at the borderlines. Tay Ninh Vice Chairman of Tay Ninh Journalists Association Nguyễn Thế Lực said that the association will immediately transfer the medicine to all members, officials, reporters, editors, and employees of press agencies residing in Tay Ninh province so that they can feel more secure when participating in propaganda on the front lines of the pandemic. Mr. Lê Đức Toàn, director of Toàn Phát Cooperative, said that realizing that Tay Ninh has a high number of COVID-19 cases, the cooperative immediately made a plan to support the frontline forces, including the Red Corps. In the immediate future, the cooperative will support medical safety equipment.
Despite being strongly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, the situation of attracting investment in Tay Ninh's industrial park in 2021 still has a positive signal.
The province has attracted an estimated total domestic and foreign investment capital of 9,935 billion Vietnam dong and over 648 million US dollar, with 73 projects, including 60 domestic projects, 13 foreign projects granted investment registration certificates and new investment policies, an increase of more than 10% over the same period in the number of newly attracted projects. It's estimated that by late 2021, the province will have 977 projects, including 339 foreign investment projects and 638 domestic ones, with a total registered capital of over 8,252 million US dollar and 98,350 billion Vietnam dong. Despite many negative impacts from the pandemic, in 2021, domestic investment attraction in the province still increased in number of newly granted projects and registered capital, in which attracting 2 projects with large investment capital, 5 housing projects in districts of the province. According to the Sub-Institute of Agricultural Planning and Protection, under the Vietnam National Institute of Agricultural Planning and Protection of the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, the level of capital investment in the agricultural sector in Tay Ninh province has changed every year in order to increase added value and develop sustainably according to the Agricultural Restructuring Scheme of Tay Ninh province with a vision to 2030. In previous years, the agricultural sector received only 6% to 30% of the total investment capital. Under the sector annually contributed from 25 to 41% to Tay Ninh's GDP. According to the Sub-Institute of Agricultural Planning and Protection, this is an unreasonable thing to overcome and also a big challenge to improve the position of the agricultural sector in Tay Ninh province. From the Sub-Institute survey, Tay Ninh has changed the capital structure for the agriculture sector. The total investment capital for agriculture, forestry, and fishery was about 700 billion Vietnam dong. Now it has increased by more than 1,000 billion Vietnam dong. The average growth rate is 8% per year. Regarding the capital structure of agriculture, if in 2010, the investment capital from the state accounted for nearly 24%, capital from the non-state sector accounted for nearly 45%, and foreign direct investment capital accounted for 31%. Now the capital structure has changed in the direction of increasing the proportion of investment capital from enterprises and gradually reducing investment capital from the state budget.
Turn to other news. The audience Hoa Thanh Town Party Committee had just held a conference to review the implementation of the 2021 resolutions as well as define the directions and tasks in 2022.
In 2021, in the context of the complicated development of the COVID-19 pandemic, the socio-economic situation of the town still achieved positive results. The industry, construction, trade, service sectors still maintained and returned to the new normal. Compared with the resolution proposed, the total production value of major industries in the year is estimated to increase by 6%, in which industrial production construction is estimated at nearly 3,500 billion Vietnam dong, up 6.6%. Trade service is estimated at more than 15,400 billion Vietnam dong, up 6.5%. The National Target Program on Building New Style Communes and Developing Urban Areas continues to receive attention from all levels and sectors. The town held a ceremony to announce the decision of the Provincial People's Committee approving the joint planning project of Hiệp Tân, Long Thành Trung, and Long Thành Bắc wards. Control activities are maintained, social security policies are well implemented, timely support over 15,600 cases of self-employed workers and employees whose labor contracts are suspended due to the COVID-19 pandemic under the Resolution number 68 and Decision number 23 of the government, and assisting all the difficult cases with a total support budget of nearly 23.6 billion Vietnam dong. Vaccination work has been accelerated, meeting the set requirements. The research, study, group, and deployment of the resolution of the 13th Party Congress, the resolutions of the Provincial Party Congress and Hoa Thanh Town have been seriously implemented. Particularly, the Town Party Committee also successfully organized the election of deputies to the 50th National Assembly and the People's Councils at all levels for the 2021-2026 term. On December 10, the Transaction Office of the Bank for Social Policies in Bến Cầu District disbursed 32 billion Vietnam dong to Vietnam Mobile Joint Stock Company. This loan is to pay wages for 9,700 workers to restore production in November. Earlier, the company was also disbursed over 12 billion Vietnam dong to pay October salaries for 3,500 employees. The Transaction Office of the District Bank for Social Policies has disbursed nearly 44 billion Vietnam dong to the company so far. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Vietnam Mobile Joint Stock Company had to stop production and business between July 15 and September 14, 2021. The company has developed a plan to restore production, a part of which is borrowing capital of over 9 billion Vietnam dong to pay salaries for employees in the last 3 months of 2021.
Ladies and gentlemen, over 1 month since the implementation of new normal state, the number of COVID-19 infected cases increased day by day, causing Tay Ninh province become one of the 5 localities with the highest number of COVID-19 infected cases in the country. Along with the increase in the number of COVID-19 cases, the number of deaths is also rising in the province.
Currently, the health sector is overloaded. People are concerned that the constant trends of the pandemic will greatly affect their lives and production activities. Along with the increase in the number of COVID-19 cases, the number of deaths is also rising in the province, with up to 373 deaths since the beginning of the pandemic.
Regarding the increase in the number of deaths, we need to understand some issues. Firstly, the number of elderly people is quite high, and secondly, about 50 or 60% of patients have underlying diseases. And by the way, we also said that at a very high percentage of patients are not vaccinated. We hope that those who have not been vaccinated should immediately go to the health stations to get vaccinated. And currently, there is no shortage of vaccines. We have to be aware that if we are vaccinated, the rate of serious illness and mortality will definitely decrease.
The rate of vaccine coverage for the people has reached quite high so far. By December 8th, people aged over 18 years had received the first dose of vaccine, reaching more than 96%. The number of people received the second dose reached nearly 91%. The health sector and local authorities have increased propaganda to mobilize people to get vaccinated. However, some people are still indifferent to the COVID-19 vaccine. The number of new cases increased significantly while there are not enough medical staff to meet the demand, leading to the overloading in the management and publication of the number of cases. Typically, on December 7th, Tay Ninh applied for an additional 3,062 new cases. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health announced 869 cases, only a quarter of the actual number. Why is there a difference between the two figures?
According to the Center for Calculations, there are two ways to announce the number of new infections. It is only when the patient has PCR test results and is given a code that we will announce that they are infected with COVID-19. In addition to the PCR results, a full investigation is required. With a very high number of F0 cases over the last month, the staff doing this job is overloaded. We cannot do a comprehensive, timely investigation on the parameters for publication, and therefore there is a discrepancy between the two features announced by the Ministry of Health and Tay Ninh province.
15,000 COVID-19 patients are isolated at home, and the number is likely to further increase. Human resources of health stations in the communes, wards, and towns are insufficient as required. Many stations only have 5 staff without doctors. According to the leader of the Department of Health, health stations are not only short of personnel, but they are also lacking in oxygen. The province has requested the Ministry of Health for support in order to adapt flexibly in the new normal. Not only the health sector and the local administration need to well implement the solutions proposed by the Provincial Steering Committee for COVID-19 Prevention and Control, but each citizen must also raise the sense of responsibility, and the whole society shouldn't be subjective, lose vigilant in disease prevention and control, strictly follow the 5K measures, and actively vaccinate against COVID-19. Strengthen the implementation of electronic medical declaration and QR code scanning at locations.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today TTV News. Thanks for watching and see you next time.